What's up, everyone? I would love to share with you some trades I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take $1,000 to $100,000 as fast as I possibly can as a rookie day trader. Now, fast, we'll use that term loosely because it's been pretty slow, actually. We started this journey in December, put $1,000 in, doubled the money pretty quickly, actually, and then it's kind of been going downhill since then, which you will see today. We are red today, $37.56. Made some decent trades today, actually. I liked some of my entries and my exits. It just really did not go my way. And there wasn't a whole lot out there yesterday. There just wasn't a whole lot out there today to trade. And I don't know, maybe I was trading slim pickings or something, but I did notice some issues with Webull, and I think this is my last week on Webull. We'll go over that here in a little bit. But the trades I made today on this account are PRSO. You can see these right. Is my thing working? There we go. Right here, SYNX and PRSO. So as we roll over to PRSO, let's take a quick look at what happened here. I first saw this on the scanner I've been using, which is from Daytrade Dash Warrior Trader Scanner. And the first one that actually showed up was JZXN, but I could not trade it on Webull again. This was happening on Thinkorswim a couple months ago. That's why it came to Webull. It was tradable on Thinkorswim today. For anyone who has had their account the restrictions lifted on riskier securities. And so I think after this week, I'm going to move back to Thinkorswim. I think the process there is we were looking to add money to this account anyway, this challenge. I'm going to put a couple $1,000s, I think, into Thinkorswim. And once that clears, until that clears, I'll keep trading the Webull account, and then we'll kind of flip-flop. So then when Thinkorswim clears, we'll start trading there again, and then we'll move the account over transfer the Webull account over to Thinkorswim, and then once it's all there, we'll just continue where we left off. But it's just been kind of frustrating, and there's a couple other things that I'll show you today. For my style of trading, where I like to scalp in and out real fast, at times Webull can lag a little bit behind on orders. We'll get into it today, and it's been a little frustrating, like today especially. This, back to the scanner. This scanner is what I've been using primarily. I do want to test some more scanners, but right now this is kind of what we got. I did JZXN, couldn't trade it like I said, and would have been a good one. I think it 160, and I think it ended up going over $2. So I just waited for the next one, and I think it was PRSO. Showed up on this scanner at 8 o'clock in the morning at $1.04. And I'll just quick show you guys where the other one showed up too, because right after it too. I'll show you INDO, which I tried to trade today or wanted to trade today, but I missed it. And then the other one was where SYN, you're up here somewhere. Right here. So they hit the scanner here at 129 and just kind of blinked up. Okay. So all these had news. Well, Syncs had news today. What was the news? The news was something along, military forces in the Middle East. We're starting to see this trending. And then PRSO had, what was its news? Let's see, drone military applications. We're starting to see a trend here, right? And then I believe an INDO would not have been, it didn't have breaking news, but it's an energy and oil related stock. So it has worldly news, if you will. And then PRSO was, which we already talked about, I think, military applications. JZ, let's go back to this JZ. Did JZXN have news? It did. What was it? What was it? I don't know, some kind of investment thing. It doesn't really matter because I didn't get to trade it anyway. So that's the scanner, and that's where I found it. It was on this running up scanner over here, where it just kind of like, if a stock is hot, it lets you know, and you got to take a look and decide if you want to enter. And we did not enter that well. We entered okay, just didn't exit very well on some of these stocks. So the first stock that we traded today was PRSO. Let's quick do this stock real quick. INDO popped up on the scanner, and I was right in the middle of some stuff on Discord. I think I was helping someone who was I think I was helping someone with how describing what bid and ask are. And I'll talk about that real quick because I think it's important. So what someone was asking today was on what stock was it? It was on PRSO. The person said that the spread, so right here on the, I'm going to redo this, right here on the bid and the ask down here, that's the spread. So right now you can see it's 156 on the ask, 150, it was 155 on the bid. That's a 1 cent spread. That's a tight spread. And the person was saying that the ask was like 114 and the bid was like 150 or something, which you don't really ever see the ask lower than the bid, that I'm aware of anyway, unless it's some kind of glitch. So I was just kind of working through someone on spreads, and turns out they knew what spreads were. They just were looking at something different than what they thought. So while all of us are looking at PRSO and trying to trade it, someone's saying that the spread is really wide, and I'm like, I don't see that on my side. Anyway, INDO real quick. So that's what I was doing at the time, and INDO did not have a current catalyst because it's an oil stock, and shoots up right here. And I would have, this was on my watch list, and this is probably one I would have taken like right here, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? 630, it pops up to like 670, and you get out, and then it just kind of flushes down. I was kind of hoping that maybe it would come back to life, and it never came back to life. I was watching this, maybe this week, 1 minute candle to make a new high after this pullback. Like if this candle was to open up right here and shoot up, that would have been a good little move, and it just didn't happen. So I just missed it. And that happens sometimes. I would have loved to have had that trade today instead of the losing trades that I ended up having today. Then we traded PRSO, and this one, pull it over here, you guys can see it. I think the 10-second chart was kind of sick on this one too. It was. So yeah, this one pops up, and what I was thinking here was, it won't show it on here. I got to back up a second. I'll show you guys what I was thinking on this stock. So this is the daily chart. Oops, right here. And so the 200 on the daily chart right here is 111. And so the way that I'm trying to trade is, let's go, and we'll go back to here, is that if a stock is far away from that either way, then it's a trade that I'm for one of many factors I'm confident in. But if it's like, I don't know, if it's like really close to it, I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens, because maybe it rejects off that. I have no idea. So I was waiting for it to cross over 110, 111, over that 200 EMA before I decide to enter, right? So it clears over the 200 EMA in conjunction with everything else I'm looking at. So I actually waited where a lot of people didn't. So this one opens up, I think it's like 101, 105 or something like that. And then this candle opens, and a lot of people got in right here. $1, 101. And that would have been a really, really solid entry, because you can't see it because I don't have the 10-second chart up, but this comes up, pulls back. This candle opens, you get a nice little pullback, and then it shoots up over the top of this candle for a really nice entry point. One of the better entry points of the day, to be honest with you. And I waited until it crossed over that 200 EMA. So I entered on this candle at like 110, 111, and then took a profit when it hit over 121 on this next candle over. It forms this next candle. I think it didn't dive. I see this, but I can't remember what happened with this candle. I either got out, like it rose up and I got out right away, or it rose up, came down, went back up. I can't remember, but I don't remember seeing the candle dive down and really even challenge my stop. But I got out right away for a 10 cent, 9 cent profit. And I think I was up like, I don't know, what is that? Like $30 or $36. And I'm like, okay, we got a good start to the day here, but let's keep taking a look at this stock. So I wait for the stock, and we have this first red candle pullback right here. The volume is not bad. It's not lower than the previous candle, but not like so high. Looking back on this, I thought that, looking back, these are kind of candles of indecision, especially this one. I should have waited. Actually. But hey, I just kind of thought that this was a good move. So this candle was actually red right before it closed, and I think the high of this is like 127. And then so when this candle actually opened and went above it, I entered, and it just rejected and came back down, and I got out for like a 5 at like a 5 or 6 cent stop loss, which I'm happy with in that scenario, because that's the stop that I was aiming for on this stock, like 5 cents, maybe maximum of 10 cents. And then the next, I took another trade on this when it had a chance to, I thought that it was going to maybe break 150. What candle was that? 917. I think it's, was that right? No, 836. What? Oh, later. Yeah, this one right here. I'm looking for it. Sorry, one sec. 836. Oh, I took it right. Is this the right stock? Yeah, 830. I'm just looking. Sorry, guys. 836 is right here. Yeah, right here. So because I made a similar trade the other day where I was hoping that the stock would curl back up and cross over its high, which was 164. And I actually tried to get in on this at 164 right when it crossed over that line. And I was not expecting that big of a pump. So right here, it's got like this 1 minute candle has 6 million volume or something. The 10-second candle that was responsible for that pump was 1 million or 2 million or something like that. So I tried to get in right here. I got in right as it crossed over. I think my entry point was, I punched it at 164 and I got a little slippage, got in at 172, but there was a delay. There was a slight delay. It pops up, comes back down. By the time it comes back down, I'm already at a loss. And unfortunately, I'll show you on the 10-second chart, because I think I'll be able to show you guys like why I stayed in it longer than I should have. I took like a 10 cent. Let me look. I got in at 172. I got out at 60. That's a 12 cent loss that basically nullified my account today. Is responsible for most of my losses today. That's really unfortunate and just not respecting that stop. But I'll show you what I saw on the chart on why I stayed. So this is it right here. And this is that 10-second candle right here. Rips up right here. And that 10-second candle was responsible for, in that minute, was responsible for 30% of the total volume. So that's kind of wild. And then I saw this, right? So I was kind of hanging on. I was hanging on right here. I saw this kind of flatten out. And I'm like, well, maybe we'll get an opportunity for this to pop right back up over this and I'll have it. And I just waited a little too long. And then once it came down here, I got out. So I just held on too long. But I think that the thing for me is on this stock, that's all the trades I took on this stock. I really liked my entry the first time around. I thought it was smart and loved the exit. I could have held actually, because but I've been kind of in scalper mode, but really my stop was never threatened. It could have went all the way up to like 140 or something before with a trailing stop, I think, when I was kind of looking over. So something to think about. And then the second trade, I loved I didn't love it, but I liked my entry. One candle to make, red candle, pull back, the next candle to make a new high, try to get in there and scalp it. I did have a chance to make, I think it was like a couple cents, and then it just rejected and came back down, and it got out of my stop. Very happy about that. The third trade is the one I'm a little frustrated about. I had the right idea. I just didn't get in soon enough to be able to. It just went up and down so fast. I think had I been a little sooner, if I got in at like 162, 163, maybe like just over 160, with the anticipation that it could pop over that new high, that would have been the place. I would have already been in, watching for it to pop over that new high, and that's kind of the downside of like waiting for your candle or your price action to go over a high. And a lot of times it's much better to get in like a cent before or 2 cents before. You're going to kind of get the same result. So you're either going to get 2 cents better on your entry, and in my case would have been like 7 cents, or it's just going to reject. And when it rejects, you just get out at your stop loss. So, it just depends on how you want to play it. But I do wish I would have got it a little earlier. So when that 2.5 million in 10 seconds hit, I would have been ready to pull it out of there. And I just got in late in the middle of that. So, I would have had to make it a pretty impressive move. And I'm not that strong. So, I wasn't happy with that last move. But again, I liked the strategy on when to enter was the break of the high of day. It was just not executed well. And if I would have got out of my stop, we would be in a much better situation today. So the next stock was SYNX. SYNX. I really wanted it today. Of course, it's up to 140 or whatever right now. This thing pops. I think it was I don't know. What is IL? What is IL? I feel like I should know this. Is that Ireland? IL country code. I feel like Ireland. Wow, that's gonna go real. I meant Israel. I can see Tom Parker watching me right now. He's gonna get a good laugh out of that. Okay, so Israel, and we've seen a couple of these pop up. So this pops up, and I'm not sure. I'm like, oh my goodness, it rips up here, goes from $1 to I missed this $1.45. This is the 1 minute chart. Oh, it's a 10-second chart. I guess we can watch it on the 10-second chart. You get this pullback right here, shoots up, another little pullback right here, comes up, and then it starts to taper off. But I am going to go over to the 1 minute chart. Looking at this 10-second chart, this thing is just so unbelievably choppy. But I'll switch over to the 1 minute chart because that's what I ended up doing when I entered. Yeah. Let's see what I did here. And you know, what I got in at, this stock. So I got in at 163. Okay, and I got out at 159. So I'm happy with my stop loss, my risk management on this trade. But one of the things that really frustrated me was I got in at 917, which is this candle right here. I was doing the same thing. Actually, I was looking at the 1 day chart, and on the 1 day chart over here, you'll see the 200 EMA. You can't really see it there, but I'll tell you what it is, 152. So I had that in mind again. I was like, okay, this thing's popping up. It's really close to the 200 EMA. And so I'm going to wait until it pops over 150, right? So I don't know. It's just what I was deciding to do today. I don't know why. I don't usually do that. I have no idea why I was deciding that today. But this candle pops up. There's a nice little pullback here. This candle opens, rips above it. You can get in right here at 146. I didn't. I waited until this candle hit over 152. I wanted it to go over the 200 EMA. It did. Now, I punched this. I wrote it down. I punched it at 153. There's like a 3-second delay. I have the video. There's a 3-second delay-ish on when my order was filled, and there was plenty of price on the ask. There was plenty of orders there for me to buy, all the way up to like 158 or 159. I think I saw. So there's plenty of time for me to get filled in there, and it just didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, it shows up. I get filled at 163, and by the time I see that I'm filled at 163, it already shot down, and I'm already in the negative. And this is something that I've been seeing on Webull that I really never had a problem with on Thinkorswim. And it's the way that Webull fills your orders. So looking back at the video, what happened here is that I think what happened is that the ask was showing me something different than what was actually happening, in that, sure, there was, I'll show you guys real quick what I mean, but there was, anyway, I took a loss on that, a few cents. I just respected my stop loss and got out. I'm glad I did because it ended up shooting back down. But I will pull up this main screen and back this out and show you guys what I mean. So on, and we'll go to this. We don't need to go to the stock actually, but yeah, let's go to it real quick. SYNX. My screens are moving around a little bit today. I'm getting a little bit of weird action. That's right. So on the stock, you can see on the ask right here, it's 148, and then all the way down you have all the way to 170, right? So, and I'm entering in an order at 148 plus 10 cents. So all the way up to 58 cents. And at the time it wasn't stacked up like this. It was like there was probably, 150, 148, 149, 150, 153, 155, 158, and there was enough size here. Now everyone's trying to buy at the same time. I get why it can get gobbled up. But I saw on my video that there was enough there for me to pull what I needed when I hit the button, and even in the time frame that it was trying to fill. But I think what actually happened is that I think that the price of the stock moved past. Now I couldn't see this. I had my working orders up, but I wasn't unable to see this, but I think this is what happened. I think that when I entered, the price action moved too high above my limit order, and my order actually waited for like 1.5 seconds until the price came back down, and then it filled. That is what I think actually happened. I looked at the video. I can't actually see that anywhere. I looked at my working tab to kind of see like when it queued up and what it looked like, and it doesn't really. I'm not really seeing that, but like I don't understand. I can't explain what else would have happened there. Because I tried to order it really early. It hangs for a few seconds. I think what happened there is that there was lag in my level 2 compared to what the actual price action was. And the stock jumped up and then it waited to fill it and tried to fill it. Like it filled it as it came back down. And I honestly think that's what happened. And then right after that, it just dropped right below that and I'm automatically at a loss. And that can happen, I guess, but it wasn't showing that on any of my level 2 or anything like that. So anyway, that's what happened today. We took a loss of $37.56. Not that big of a deal, but we now have started with $1,000. We added $1,200. We were up to $4,000 at one point in time. We're working back from a drawdown from the first couple weeks of February. Let's see, 43 trade days. We have 47 wins for a win rate of 70%. That came down today, a few percent actually because of a couple trades we missed. We were at 25% today, unfortunately, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that brings the average down quite a bit. But it is what it is. I have a little bit of buying power left, but I don't plan on trading this afternoon. I'm going to take the afternoon off, hang out with family, and chill for the weekend. And I will see you guys on Monday. And I am going to start the transition over to back to TOS. And I'm just going to start making that work for me again. So just the restricted stocks on Webull and some of these weird fills that I'm getting that I just know don't happen on Thinkorswim because of the way it does liquidity sweeps below and above your order. And so I'm just not feeling it for the scalping style that I like, and I've given it a pretty good try. I'm not blaming Webull for my entries and my exits by any means, but I think I feel a little bit more comfortable over on Thinkorswim. And, hopefully we'll get $100,000 there, and then eventually I can switch to Lightspeed. You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you later.